Most of you probably already heard about the Michigan coach story.
So he broke into his mistress' home and said, "I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to make you watch. My blood is on your hands. You ruined my life."
And I wanted to talk about it because it brings up a bigger conversation about lust.
Lust ruins everything. It ruins your relationships, and it will scar people for life.
It brings up a bigger conversation about controlling your energy, controlling what you control as far as, not letting lust win. And I think that's what happened in this crazy story. That this man who's super successful, the head coach of Michigan, has a family, has a wife, put in a lot of work to get to where he at. Because becoming the head coach of any prestigious college like Michigan, especially in the football space, it's extremely hard to do. And to throw it away.
Former University of Michigan football coach Sharon Moore is appearing in court. On Wednesday, as you may know, he was fired as coach, and then shortly after he was arrested. Now we have learned that he's facing 3 charges: home invasion, stalking, and breaking and entering.
Because of an affair he was having and wanted to harm himself in the process. I find that to be crazy, right? And I know it's less, but I also think it's the ego. The ego getting hit because that person doesn't want to deal with you anymore, or not answering the phone calls or whatever, can really have you lose sight of what's important, right? Your family, your wife. Providing for those people as a man should have been one of the more important things. But he was so worried about his ego got hurt, his feelings got hurt, chasing that lustful nature that he hadn't dealt with, hadn't conquered yet, haven't really sat with himself and realized this is a problem. And it culminated into one of the craziest stories of attacking a woman that it's not attacking a woman that you're in a relationship with, but you have a whole relationship, right? And it broke you from the inside. That lust, that ego broke you from the inside. Not being confident in yourself, not being understanding what it was, broke him inside to the point that you want to, get into the home invasion and wanted to harm yourself in some capacity. And it got me thinking, the bigger story is that we have to conquer ourselves. We have to conquer the things, the vices that would take over if we ever got to a point where we can lose it all, right? Because we always get to a point that's super successful, but things that we haven't, can break us down, we need to take care of. That might be lust, that might be gluttony, that might be envy, that might be not getting over certain situations in life, can leave you stagnant. But also, when you get to that level of success, it can bring you down because you haven't dealt with those things.
My grandmother would always tell me, and that is, God may put you in places, but your character may not keep you there. This man had no prior collegiate head coaching experience, was handed this job making over $6 million a year, and he blew it because lust got the best of him.
And there's a lot of internal processing that you have to do and recognizing what it is before it's too late. Because I think it was too late for him, right? Because I think he got to a certain level of success that he felt like he was untouchable, right? You're gonna do what I said, or things should go the way it's supposed to go. Having that level of success early, and just having that level of success would throw you off because you're not understanding why a person's not doing what you want them to do, not thinking clearly, not thinking straight, right? Your mental is not in it. And I think that having a situation like this can teach you that if you're not sticking to the goal, you're not sticking within yourself, if you're not looking within, you're not taking care of here, controlling this, so you don't have to have those urges, which you, like God said, you have to run away from. You can't fight it. Then certain things like this are bound to happen. If you don't really check on yourself, like have this self-check with yourself, like, am I doing everything I need to do to make sure that I'm in the process, I'm in mental processing well? But, I feel like in this situation specifically, he was too high on the success of the job women like her, throwing themselves at you and then leaving you on red and very confused on why they're not calling you back and this, that, and the third, leaving you high and dry. And I just think in that moment, he's not thinking about his wife. He's not thinking about his kids. He's thinking about himself. And the level of ego it takes to be in that situation and not thinking about the people that you're really supposed to be caring about in those moments. But you're at the side chick's house, pretty much ready to end it all because that person don't want to be with them, whatever the case may be. And it's a sad thing because people that are hurting really in this is the kids, right? Their dad is going through this. That's embarrassing. And it sucks that a lot of men that are in spaces of control, a lot of men that's in spaces of success fall because of lust, fall because of ego, fall because they don't know how to check themselves mentally. When things are going wrong, check themselves when they feel like they're too high. No, check themselves when they're too low. A lot of these things go unchecked and it culminates into crazy things like this happening all the time. And I think as a man, you gotta check yourself. You gotta mentally be like, I'm tripping right now. Like, why am I tripping on this? I could lose everything, And I don't think that we take the time to really reassess what's really going on in our life, how we've been blessed. I think that they forget that you've been blessed in these situations, and these things can be taken away from you if you're not treating them with care. And I'm not saying everything I got in my life I treat everything with care, but it just seems that a lot of these men in these situations just like treat this very frivolously, like don't care. And it's like one of the craziest things to me. And we're gonna have a bigger conversation about lust, but I just think the lustful nature that you see a lot, really contribute to the fact of this person losing damn near everything, really everything, and now he's in jail. And how fast you can lose everything, one day having everything and not losing everything in I'm pretty sure less than 24 hours. It's the craziest thing. And I just thought about this. He's never gonna be able to get that back. That money, right? And I'm not saying money is everything, but think about it. He was making millions of dollars to coach a football team. Now he probably not even gonna be able to find a job coaching a high school football team because of this scandal, because of this craziness, right? Now he's in jail. That's the craziest thing to me. Really to risk it, everything all on things like that is just insane to me,